Hello, welcome back to my channel. Join me on another episode of my life's emotional roller coaster, from standing alone on a crowded dance floor, to the heart-wrenching decision that changed everything, and the incredible love story that followed. It's a tale of finding not just a partner, but a family. Stay tuned to learn how the power of self-love and resilience transformed my world, and how you too can find the love and happiness you deserve. I stood at the edge of the crowded dance floor, my heart heavy with an overwhelming longing. The rhythm of the music pulsed through the air, but it could not drown out the whispers of my soul, urging me to seek what I desired most, a true partner in life, someone who would stand beside me and weather every storm that came our way. For years, I had navigated the unpredictable realm of relationships, each one an ephemeral dance that left me yearning for more. "Excuse me," a warm voice said, pulling me from my thoughts. I blinked and turned to see a man standing by my side, a genuine smile gracing his handsome features. "I couldn't help but notice you standing here alone. May I have this dance?" "Sure," I replied hesitantly, trying to quell the butterflies that took flight within me. His name was James, and as the music swelled around us, I found myself drawn to him like a moth to a flame. As we danced, the world seemed to fall away, leaving only the two of us suspended in a moment of pure connection. Our conversation flowed effortlessly, revealing shared dreams and common passions that bridged the gap between us. I marveled at the kindness in his eyes, the charm that seemed to radiate from his very being. "Where have you been all my life?" I asked playfully, unable to suppress the laughter bubbling up inside me. "Searching for someone like you," James confessed, his gaze locked on mine. The intensity of his words sent shivers down my spine, stirring something deep within me. In that moment, I allowed myself to believe that perhaps this man, this beautiful soul who had appeared before me like a beacon of hope, could be the one I had been searching for all along. And so, hand in hand, we stepped into the unknown together, ready to face whatever life had in store for us. Together, we built a life I could have only dreamed of. With James by my side, I brought 3 beautiful children into the world: Lucy, Max, and Sam. They were the center of our universe, filling our days with laughter, love, and endless moments of wonder. As our family gathered around the table, basking in the comfort of each other's presence, I couldn't help but feel a twinge of unease. Although our lives seemed picture-perfect on the surface, something was missing. Despite our deep connection and the family we had created, James had never made a commitment to a lifelong partnership. It was a subject that seemed to hover in the air between us, like a storm cloud threatening to burst at any moment. "James, can we talk?" I asked one evening after the kids were tucked into bed. My heart raced as I broached the subject I had been avoiding for so long. "Of course, what's on your mind?" he replied, his voice gentle and calm. "James, I love you, and I love the life we've created together. But I need to know if you see yourself committed to this relationship for good." He hesitated, and I saw the flicker of uncertainty in his eyes. "I don't know," he admitted finally. "I mean, kids, but I'm not sure about making that kind of commitment. James, I can't keep living in this state of limbo," I whispered, my voice cracking with emotion. "I need to know that we're in this together, for the long haul. Isn't what we have enough?" he countered, avoiding my gaze. "Enough? Is it enough to build a life together, raise children, share all these beautiful moments, and still feel like there's a part of you that's holding back?" My chest tightened as I fought to hold back tears. "James, I don't want to spend my life waiting for you to decide if I'm worth committing to. Look, I just need time to figure things out," he said defensively, rising from the couch. "I don't know why you're making such a big deal out of this." "Because it is a big deal," I cried, frustration boiling over. "I deserve someone who wants to be with me, without doubts or hesitation." The silence that followed felt heavy, oppressive. As I watched James pace the room, his face a mask of inner turmoil, I couldn't help but wonder if our love could withstand the storm that was brewing between us. Months had passed since that talk, and yet nothing had changed. The same uneasy tension still lingered in our home, an invisible weight pressing down upon us. I could no longer ignore the gnawing ache in my chest, the growing certainty that James would never commit to the life we'd built together. Gathering the kids close, I told them of my decision. "We must leave here and start over somewhere else." "Without Dad?" Lucy asked fearfully. He's welcome to join us, if he chooses to be part of the family, I replied, trying to stay calm. The next day, I packed our belongings into suitcases and boxes, my heart heavy but resolute. As the children huddled together in the living room, I stood at the threshold, bracing myself for the uncertainty that lay ahead. Leaving me, are you? James' voice echoed through the hallway, stopping me in my tracks. He leaned against the doorframe, his arms crossed, a bitter smile playing on his lips. James, it's not about leaving you. It's about choosing what's best for our children and me, I said firmly, clutching the doorknob. Best? You think tearing apart our family is what's best? He scoffed, his voice dripping with disdain. I'm still here, aren't I? I've been providing for you and the kids. James, commitment isn't something you can put on hold. It's a choice you make every day, I said with determination, my grip tightening on the suitcase handle. You've had countless opportunities to prove that you're serious about us. But you always find an excuse to avoid taking that step. Is that what this is really about? You want me to propose? His eyes studied me as if seeing me for the first time. Proposing is just a symbol, James, I replied, my voice steady despite the turmoil within. What I need is your unwavering love and support, something I've been longing for since we started this journey together. For a moment, there was silence. I could see the wheels turning in his head as he processed my words. Then, without warning, he erupted into laughter. The sound, once music to my ears, now grated on my nerves like sandpaper. Are you serious? He chortled, wiping tears from his eyes. Do you honestly think anyone else would want you with 3 kids in tow? Good luck with that, sweetheart. He smirked, clearly amused by the idea of my failed attempts at finding love. His cruel words felt like a dagger to my heart, but I refused to let him see me crumble under their weight. I took a deep breath, steadying myself before responding. I don't need someone to want me, James. I need someone who loves our children and me unconditionally, and who is willing to fight for our happiness. Fight for your happiness. He snorted, shaking his head incredulously. You truly are delusional. Maybe I am, I admitted, my voice barely above a whisper. But I'd rather be delusional than trapped in a loveless partnership any longer. With that, I swung the door open and stepped through the threshold, leaving behind the man who had once been my everything. The icy winter breeze cut through my skin, but it couldn't compare to the chill in my heart as I embarked on this new, uncertain chapter of my life. My journey into singlehood had been fraught with apprehension. I'd been on countless dates, each one more disappointing than the last. A parade of men had come and gone, leaving me wondering if true love was nothing but an elusive myth. I couldn't shake the image of James laughing at me, convinced that no man would ever accept my children and me. Meanwhile, the sun bathed the city in golden light as I found myself sitting on a bench in the park, the rustling leaves of the oak trees overhead providing a soothing soundtrack to my troubled thoughts. My friend, Marissa, sat beside me, her keen eyes taking in my furrowed brow and the way I fidgeted with the hem of my blouse. All right, spill it, she finally said, breaking the silence. You've got that look again. What's going on? I sighed, hesitating for a moment, before I blurted out. I don't know if I can do this, Marissa. I had been on countless dates, but none of them seemed right for me and the kids. Am I really doomed to be alone? Was James right? Marissa frowned, her dark eyes narrowing slightly. First of all, you need to stop giving James so much power over your thoughts. And secondly, maybe you're going about this all wrong. I asked, feeling a mix of indignation and curiosity. Look, she began, placing a comforting hand on my arm, I know you want to find someone to share your life with, but have you considered focusing on yourself for a while? You're an incredible woman, a fantastic mother, and you've been through a lot. Maybe it's time to pour love into your children and rediscover who you are outside of a relationship. Her words struck a chord deep within me, resonating with a part of my soul that had long felt neglected. I realized she was right. I had become consumed by my search for a partner, forgetting that my own growth and self-improvement were just as important. Love wasn't something I could force, it would come when the time was right. Okay, I murmured, determination beginning to swell inside me. I'll do it. I'll focus on myself and my children. We deserve to be happy, with or without a man in our lives. Good, Marissa said, smiling warmly. Remember, you have so much to offer. Don't settle for anything less than what you and your kids deserve. Over the next few months, I took her advice to heart. I enrolled in a painting class, something I had always wanted to try but never found the time for. I volunteered at the kids' school and became an active member of the PTA. Lucy, Max, and Sam thrived under the newfound attention, and I couldn't help but notice how much more fulfilled I felt. As I stood in front of a canvas one evening, streaks of vibrant color blooming beneath my brushstrokes, I realized that Marissa's words had been transformative. By focusing on my own growth and pouring love into my children, I had become a stronger, more confident woman, one who knew that when love did find us, we would be ready to embrace it wholeheartedly. Months had passed since that transformative conversation with Marissa. I could see the positive impact of my newfound determination in every aspect of my life, from my relationship with my children to my own sense of self-worth. As I continued to explore and grow, I began to cross paths with a remarkable man named Mark. I first met him at a charity event organized by the PTA. He was tall, with a warm smile and eyes that seemed to hold a world of understanding. Over the course of several months, we found ourselves becoming closer, sharing our thoughts and dreams during late-night phone calls and leisurely walks through the park. Mark asked about my kids one day, and I told him with pride that Lucy was 12 and loved to write, Max was 10 and obsessed with science, and Sam, 7, had a big heart. Your face lights up when you talk about them, he said, squeezing my hand gently. They must be incredible kids. I said they deserved all the happiness in the world. Mark then added that their mom did too, his gaze lingering on mine. I wanted Mark to meet Lucy, Max, and Sam. So, I hesitantly asked him to come for dinner. That evening, as Mark stood in my doorway, the kids peered around me. I introduced him and Max bounded over to shake his hand. Sam followed with a shy smile. Mark chatted with each child about their hobbies and interests, effortlessly weaving himself into our family. As the evening progressed, I found myself catching glimpses of the life we could have together, one filled with laughter, shared experiences, and unconditional love. With every moment spent with Mark and my children, I felt my fears and doubts receding further into the background, replaced by a renewed sense of hope and possibility. Months had passed since that fateful dinner, and the bond between Mark and my children continued to strengthen. I could see the love and respect they had for each other, and my heart swelled with happiness knowing I had made the right decision in bringing him into our lives. It was a warm summer evening when Mark and I stood hand in hand at the altar, surrounded by our closest friends and family. The sun cast a golden glow over the ceremony, reflecting the joy and love that filled the air. As we exchanged vows, I couldn't help but think of the journey that had brought me to this moment, the heartbreaks, the challenges, and ultimately, the growth that enabled me to embrace this newfound happiness. Mark, I began, my voice wavering with emotion, you are the most incredible man I have ever known. You've not only accepted my children as your own but have shown us all what it means to be loved unconditionally. I am beyond grateful to be standing here with you today. Thank you, he whispered, his eyes shining with tears as he squeezed my hand tightly. I promise to cherish you, to support you, and to be there for you and the kids through all the highs and lows life may bring. With our vows sealed with a passionate kiss, our new life together was set in motion. Soon after, we welcomed 2 more beautiful children into our family, a testament of the love that Mark and I shared. Their laughter and cries blended harmoniously with the voices of their older siblings, creating a symphony of happiness that echoed throughout our household. Together, Mark and I embarked on a new adventure, combining our skills and passions to create a thriving business that allowed us to support our growing family while doing what we loved. Our partnership and marriage seamlessly translated into a successful entrepreneurship, built upon the foundation of trust, communication, and shared goals. As I reflected on the transformative journey that had brought me to this moment, I realized that there were 5 important takeaways from my story. 1. My journey underscores the significance of seeking a partner who is fully committed and prepared to stand by your side through life's trials and tribulations. 2. Love is not just about being in a relationship but also about nurturing your own growth and self-worth, which is crucial not only in relationships but in life in general. 3. Your children also deserve unwavering love and a partner who wholeheartedly accepts them. This underscores the importance of selecting a partner who shares your commitment to your family. 4. There is a need for open and honest communication in a relationship, as it's shown that addressing concerns and doubts is essential. Avoidance and neglect can lead to a growing divide. 5. Ultimately, my story reminds us that love can be unexpected and should be welcomed when it arrives. Also, focusing on personal growth and fulfilling your life can make you ready to embrace love when it finds you.